Hey guys, I'm going to clear up a little bit of the confusion around installing this mod pack that I just released and how to get onto the server. So what you're going to first want to do is install kind of what you see here. This is the Twitch desktop app. Now I believe you can get it on Macs as well, but I'm using a Windows machine here, so you'll see all this junk on screen. But what you want to do is once you have it installed, go ahead and go to your mods. And then if you have Minecraft already installed, you should be able to see this, but go ahead and click Minecraft. And then you'll be able to see kind of this dashboard here. Now, I already have a bunch of mod packs installed. You probably will not have this installed. Or if you do, maybe just a couple, not as many as I do. But you'll see right here, this is the Crewcraft pack that I have up. And it says no hosted mods installed, but it just takes a little while to do this. So these are all the mods that are installed, and I'll read through them in a minute. But we are going to go to this create custom profile here. So if you go to import a previously created profile, this is where you're going to find that zip folder that I threw into the Discord. Now, I don't know how to get this published so that it updates automatically. I'm hoping to be able to have that up by the end of the month, because I'm going to be going home for Thanksgiving break here in a little bit. But for the time being, you're going to have to update this or install this using this zip pack. Now, you can carry stuff over if you know how to use the file system to kind of navigate to the right folder. But what you want to do is just open that. So it should, in theory, just kind of open up this whole new thing. It should do it on its own. It'll show you the Crewcraft. It should do this version 1.12.2. By the way, the Forge version is 2847. That's going to be what we're going to use for this version of the pack. And this applies to any profiles that you are importing that were already created and shared via a zip folder. But anyway, that's going to install whatever. But we're going to hit play on this one because this is the main one here. You can see Crewcraft 1, version 1.0.0. That's what you should be seeing here. That's the version that the server's running off of. That's the version that I am currently using. So let's load this up here. It should just take a couple of minutes. And while we're doing that, let's get up, see if I can find my sticky notes here. Actually, we don't even need the sticky notes. We can just read it off of this. So going from the top down, some of these I will explain a little bit. Others I'll just kind of glaze over. Apple skin is going to show you a little bit more of your hunger bar, and then how much like your food is going to restore your saturation and stuff like that. Baubles is going to be you can equip rings and other stuff like that. Better FPS and Chameleon are just libraries. Chisel adds a ton of new blocks. Well, better FPS is a little improvement to the game. Chisel adds a ton of new blocks, and you'll be able to explore that on your own. This is a library. Connected textures mod is, I think, used by Chisel. Cooking for blockheads allows you to build yourself basically a kitchen, and you can throw all the ingredients in there, and it'll automatically pick out what you can make using those ingredients, which is really, really nice. Crafting tweaks is kind of just a UI improvement. Ender IO, Ender Core. Ender IO adds a bunch of machines, some armor, weapons, etc. So we'll be checking that out a little bit. Environmental tech adds some blocks, RF generation, and so RF is the energy use in this game. And gosh, what else? Oh, ore miners, vein ore miners, or void ore miners. Sorry about that. Anyway, all this FTB stuff here, falling within the FTB utilities, is kind of how we're going to do quests, handle money, how the server is going to automatically back up. Immersive Engineering is another pack that adds a lot of machines and kind of older fashioned, like back in the early 1900s, late 1800s of like what energy generation was, but we still use that RF standard. Inventory tweaks is again another tweak. Item filters, kind of same thing. Journey map is a great mapping utility. You're allowed to create waypoints, and you'll have a little mini map on your upper right hand corner. Just enough items, you'll kind of see how that works in a second. Pam's Harvest Craft adds a ton of farming and food recipes. This Reborn Core, Reborn Storage is going to add onto this like refined storage. I don't know if you've ever heard of Applied Energistics, but it's basically a digital system for storing tons of items. Some down here that are worth mentioning. Storage drawers adds drawers where you can just dump a ton of stuff in, but only of one type. Thaumcraft is a magic pack made by Azenor. Love that. This is like Thaumcraft 4 or Thaumcraft 5 at this point, but they just call it Thaumcraft. Tinker's Construct down here. Oh, sorry. Can't skip over this. Thermodynamics, Expansion, Foundation, Innovation. This is all kind of the thermal family here. This is going to be your base machines. So ore doubling, some kind of processing, a lot of RF use and generation there. Tinker's Construct and Tinker's Tool leveling are part of the Tinker's Construct. It allows you to make your own custom tools using various parts. Very fun. Library, Waystones, lets you create these waystones that you can kind of set teleports to. And if you find multiple ones, sometimes they spawn in villages and other structures like that. But lets you save them and then teleport back and forth. I think it's for an XP cost, but it's relatively low. And then wolf armor and storage basically gives you armor that you can put on your wolves and dogs. So that's kind of a general rundown of what we have. So it looks like a lot of mods, but like I said, this thermal dynamics through thermal innovation is technically one mod, like reborn storage, reborn core, and then this refined storage. All of that is technically in like one little mod package. So we have the game loaded up here, so we'll get into the game a little bit. I'm actually going to show you what it's going to look like when you're getting into the server here. So it should pop you out at spawn. Now, I'm in creative mode right now, I think still, so we'll see how this works. There we go. So it's going to point you out here. There are going to be a couple of commands that you'll be able to have access to right off the bat. So /spawn from anywhere at any time will return you back to this exact location. And you'll see some stuff kind of flying by down here. It's generating the chunks for the world. I think it's a 200 chunk radius, so you can get pretty far out there, and it just saves the server later on from running into lag if you're going to be exploring and stuff. So /warp also will take you to any one of the following places. So we have mountains, forest, and plains. So we'll go to them in that order. I'm sorry about the the music in the background. So we go to mountains first. Kind of takes you to a mountaintop. We'll let it load in here. Got some alpacas, pigs, etc. But it gives you a nice like forest or like mountain location. Forest is next. That's what I wanted to say. So we go to forest. Forest. That's not how you spell forest. I don't know why I keep wanting to put an A in there. So this is going to teleport you to a nice, very foresty location. You can see kind of the mountains off in the distance there, and plains aren't too far away. That's going to be your next warp. But whenever you are warping around, keep in mind that there are monsters kind of bebopping around, and they will attack you. All right, last but not least, we have plains, which actually teleports you within distance of a lot of things. You can see how far away some of those are. There are tons of monsters over here, by the way, so just be careful with that. Let's switch the time to day. And let's also, can we toggle our game mode? Yeah, just to get rid of that music, and then we'll go back in. So you'll see when you get to the plains, there's actually another, I believe this is some kind of forest, taiga biome, sorry. And then you also have some mountains off to the side here, which are less forested than those other ones. And you'll see a little bit of some of these structure generations, which I will let you explore yourself later. But you have a lot of area to go exploring in. Oh, here's a structure that I have not seen before. And this is the first time you guys will be seeing it as well. This is kind of like a little random outpost, I think. Oh, and some good stuff. So you know what? If you get to it first, good on you. Got some gold, a few ores in there. Got hay. Oh, lag. Server's lagging a little bit because it's still generating. But hay and a bed in there as well. But I'm going to teleport back to the spawn. Just kind of take a peek around here. You can see, again, more structures. I made sure to install a mod that generates some more of these structures. Just so, you know, you have something to look at whenever you're exploring. But we'll go back to spawn. So make sure you read these rules. Please do not grief, do not steal, and be kind. Now, whenever you leave this pad, it will mean that you agree to all of these rules. So if you break these rules, I can guarantee you will be kicked. But I would ask that you share this with your friends. I would like to have a lot of people on here playing. There are enough mods that you can kind of get into it. You'll see here, this is the JEI interface. Now, obviously, you won't be able to see this kind of creative mode interface here. You're just going to be seeing a basic one. But here are kind of all the Tinker's tools that you can make. Like, there are even more iterations than this. Tons of different types of tools, structures. You can build a smeltery. This is kind of like the thermal expansion stuff, thermal foundation. So there's going to be all your thermal tools and whatever. This is Thumbcrafts, like I said, that magic, and I'm probably going to end up adding more magic in later. Oh, this is Pam's. These are all the foods that you can make. Fried onions, energy drinks. So you'll be able to get into that a little bit more yourself. But there should be a ton of stuff for you guys to explore. I just wanted to outline kind of how you would install it. So I'll leave it there. Thank you so much for joining, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.